Alrighty, guys, we're back for Trailblazer Wolves, and this is an Outlaws, a Thunder Junction Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We are losing a whole bunch of wolves and werewolves come rotation, and the one I'm going to miss the most is probably Reckless Stormseeker. Got 3 mana, 2/3, it has Daybound, Nightbound, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste until end of turn, and when it's nighttime it's +2/+0 and trample and haste, and it happens to be a 3/4 at nighttime too. So actually just a very powerful card that we really haven't seen enough of in like the last couple years, huh? We have Tovolar, Dire Overlord in here as well. This is a 3 mana 3/3. Whenever a wolf or a werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Keeping our hand nice and stocked up, this usually has a huge target on its back. Also, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves and or werewolves, it becomes night, and then you transform any number of human werewolves you control. Nice. Other werewolves in here that I'm going to miss, Kessig Naturalist, 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever it attacks, you get a red source or a green source. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Of course, Daybound, Nightbound, when it is nighttime, other wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1. That's pretty good. And then, of course, it still has the Naturalist ability there. We're going to be pairing this with cards like a Ruby Daring Tracker as well. So a little bit of ramp on our 2-drops, right? So Ruby Daring Tracker is a 2 mana, 1/2 legendary creature with haste. You can tap it for a red or a green source. And whenever it attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it actually gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Every time we've played with Ruby, it has been ridiculous, dude. It is a very powerful creature. We actually have a whole theme in here with power 4 or greater, which is why we're trying out a Bristlepack Sentry. This is a 2 mana 3/3 defender. It's a plant wolf. As long as you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Bristlepack Sentry can attack as though it didn't have defender. So it just says a creature. It doesn't say another creature. So that totally counts the Sentry itself, right? So at a 2 mana 3/3 defender, I don't think those stats are bad anyways, but I think it's going to be very easy to get this to 4 power or just have other creatures on the board that happen to have 4 power anyways. At that point, it's just a 2 mana 3/3, which is pretty good, man. So like a turn 1 Kumano, for example, turn 2, the second part of the saga, whenever a creature ETBs, you get that +1/+1 counter on it too. That's just a 2 mana 4/4 because it can attack as though it didn't have defender at that point. Seems pretty cool, man. We actually do have a lot of 1-drops packed in because of the Naturalist and the Ruby. Kind of thinking of playing these 1-drops out of our hand as like little bonuses early on here. So all 4 Kumano making the cut. We do have a Monstrous Rage as well. That'll do the thing. We got all 4 Play with Fires too, and 4 Royal Treatments as well. And it's a similar concept. Any cards like this that we're buffing up, like Bristlepack Sentry with, you know, when you play this, of course, target creature gets X-proof until end of turn, but then you also put that Royal Roll on it, which gives that creature +1/+1 and has Ward 1 as well. So if you end up dropping that on the Bristlepack Sentry, now it's a 4/4 with Ward that can attack as though it didn't have defender. Seems pretty decent, man. We actually have other plants packed in too. We do have the Aloe Alchemist here. This is a 2 mana 3/2 with Trample, not bad. Has plot for 1 and a green, and when it becomes plotted, target creature gets +3/+2 and gains Trample until end of turn. It's like, if you guys can't tell the theme, yeah, we're going to be buffing our creatures above that power of 4. Also, same concept with the Reckless Stormseeker, the first card we went over, the +1/+0 and haste, same concept with that Sentry, right? Give it +1/+0, and then of course its power is 4 or greater, so beautiful stuff. What else do we got packed in, guys? We have Outcaster Trailblazer as a 2-of. It does have plot for 2 and a green, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you add 1 mana of any color. So kind of another similar concept between the Naturalist and the Ruby, as if you play Trailblazer, you also, like, you kind of get another free 1-drop out of your hand at that point too, you know what I mean? Or if you plot it, you can treat it as ramp at that point too, but we're not ramping into too much. Also has a second ability here that actually is not going to activate too often, but whenever another creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. So not too often in this particular build, but I am interested to see how much the double Trailblazer will actually do. We do have a top end here with Cactusfolk Sureshot, 4 mana, 4/4, reach, ward 2. I'll tell you what, every time we play with Ward, it always goes that extra mile, man. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, other creatures you control with power 4 or greater gain trample and haste until end of turn. Since we're going to be buffing our creatures so much with everything else in here, I think that's going to be very often. Have Cavern of Souls calling wolf or werewolf more often than not, but there are going to be moments where maybe you call plant or maybe human too. We do have some humans packed in. Either way, this is to help us get around counter spells based on what's in our hand at any given moment. We do have a Restless Ridgeline as well as all 4 Karplusan Forest, Copperline Gorge opting for the fast land, as you guys can see. 5 forests, 4 mountains, leaning just a little bit green, a very little bit green, as you guys can see here. Crucible and Who Endures also making the cut. No honorable mentions today, guys. We saw so many variations of wolves throughout the last few years and whatnot, so it's just like, you know, what did I miss? What could have at the very least been in the honorable mentions? Let me know in the comments for sure. Okay, guys, I like to do my dandiest to go ahead and save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how we do. Right into that first game, guys. Let's go. What am I expecting from the build? Not much. I just want to play some wolves before they're gone. Have a good time. We've had a lot of fun with wolves. I don't like this hand, but I don't want to mulligan either, so we're just gonna keep it. Kumano into the Alchemist is not terrible. It's just like, where are my wolves, you know? With Forest, Demir, I'm going to keep Crucible and just take the one off the Pain land. If this was a mountain over here, I would have considered playing Crucible, but this is also a lot of mana in hand. Okay, Picklock Prankster. We go ahead and grab a Bitter Triumph. Nice. That means our Alchemist probably dies. But it's still a worthwhile play, right? Probably. It's a 4/3 with trample, and we know that they have the spot removal in hand, but even if they didn't grab the Bitter Triumph, it probably would have just been other spot removal anyways. Founding the third path, so they get to cast that for free. And they probably go for the discard because Picklock Prankster means they like to have things in the grave. Same concept with the Founding here. The second, I bet they, on the second ability of the Saga, I bet they mill themselves. More mana off the top is not terrific here, but we do get to play Kumano number 2 and keep the Play with Fire available. And luckily we kept Crucible back as utility. We're definitely going to try for the Scry on the Play with Fire. They do mill themselves, so Saltai Graveyard or something. Oh! There's 4 colors actually with the Invasion. We might be pretty lucky that they didn't hit any of their top end in the graveyard at this point, as it does appear to be some form of Reanimator. With those 4 colors, that is Atraxa. That is Atraxa ready. So very, very slow start for what the deck is trying to do. So let's see if that Scry can help us out here. It's going to be Bitter Triumph and a Squirming Emergence. Wow, kind of feels like they're not seeing any of their top end, huh? We definitely do not need that mana. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Oh, there we go. There we go. We froze for a second. That's scary. Okay, Alchemist for the turn could be a 4/3, or we could get excess damage through right now with a plot. That's a tough decision. Based on what we've seen so far, they also got rid of the Bitter Triumph, showing us that they probably just have more spot removal in hand here too. We play the mana. I think we go for excess damage now. While we have it. Bring him down to 9. It's pretty good. It's not bad. And if we see nothing else off the top, we do have Crucible. Second Kumano flips next turn too. They go Bounding the third path. On chapter 3, they grab Bitter Triumph, and they probably discard here. With their adventures, this is a 4-mana card they could play. That'll block really well, actually. But they don't get this for free. They do have to spend the mana. Okay, that's good news, actually. That's good, because now they only have 2. They could get the Picklock Prankster down, though. Or just keep 2 open for another piece of spot removal, too. The Alchemist does not have haste. But it is free next turn, so we're going to play it at the end. They actually decide to just go for the mill here. Monstrous Rage is pretty good. Oh, 1 with the Multiverse. Okay. So they finally hit something big from the grave here. Well, we're going to go Crucible. Monstrous Rage available. We're going to swing. Monstrous Rage on any of them. The opponent's tapped out. Bringing the opponent down to 2. And do we play around a board wipe or no? No, we don't. We just go for it, man. We just go wide because if the only thing they have for the turn is a couple chump blockers off the Picklock Pranksters, then we're fine and dandy. And another reason to not play around the board wipe is no white sources on the board means no Sunfall. Squirming Emergence, Invasion, grab the one with the Multiverse, right? Because it's non-land permanent. Oh, non-battle permanent, actually. So they do have a free play here with the one with the Multiverse. And they still have 2 open as well. Atraxa was the last card in their hand, guys. That was their free play. Oh, crap, dude. Oh, crap. We are in trouble. Opponent is in this easily. Play with Fire off the top could end it, though. We do have 3 more Play with Fires in the build. Dude, I was not anticipating the last card in their hand to be Atraxa, although I guess we shouldn't be too surprised as they milled all these cards and missed it, you know? It is a forest. No. We don't have a great swing here because no matter where the opponent blocks, they go back up to 9 and they're only taking like 3. But no matter what happens if we pass it back for the turn 2, they're going to be gaining off the Atraxa swing. Unfortunately, we're going to play that mana, and this has felt like way too much land for the game. But I don't know. I think this really could have gone either way, huh? I think this is heavily leaning towards the opponent, though. Oh, Titan of Industry. Now their top ends drop him. I didn't even see what they grabbed on the Atraxa, by the way. What else did they got over here? Portal to Phyrexia, too. Squirming Emergence. That can grab, like, Invasion. And they can grab the Titan off the Invasion. Actually, the opponent's deck list is terrifying, dude. Holy cow. Yeah, for some reason they just wanted to establish more. They might as well not swing face here. Go Atraxa into one of the Invasions. And then flip the Broken Sky just for fun. They go another Rhino, another Titan. And there's not going to be a way through here, unfortunately, guys. But we're definitely letting the opponent play this out. They dropped the early GGs, although I don't think it's early. Because there's like nothing we could possibly see. Kumano off the top. We'll play it. And like I said, we're definitely letting the opponent get that swing on in too. And we'll save the blockers back, although we are likely going to have to sacrifice 3 of them anyways. The Worldly Gaze. Yeah, dude. I like this. I really like this addition. The Tempest Heart here. at the instant speed, stocks up your grave nicely. I mean, of course, it fits the color combinations that the opponent has in here too. Just also acting as not a terrible 4-drop, you know? Okay, we will sacrifice you. We drop the opponent the GG in return here. It's actually another Portal to Phyrexia since they are able to play 2 different things with the one with the multiverse. That's brutal, man. That's brutal. Yeah, I was feeling pretty good there for a second. No, we had some pretty slow turns, especially early on too, so that definitely could have been a mulligan as well, right? Definitely something to consider there. And a play with fire off the top would have just been lucky at that point. When the opponent was actually at 2, we only had 3 play with fires remaining. That would have just been handed to us. Although it would have been pretty awesome as well. All right, let's see if we can have a bit of a faster starting hand here. Because in that match especially, it took the opponent a while to set up. So a little bit of a faster starting hand, we probably would have gotten there easily, I think. Although it did look like they had a lot of potential to set up pretty fast, right? With that Squirming Emergence and everything too. Oh, I like this hand. Yeah. We go first. I like this hand a lot. This is going to be fun, dude. Turn 1 Kumano. Turn 2 Bristlepack Sentry. Just seems kind of crazy to me, man. That seems so good. Kumano faces Kakkazan. And mana off the top in this game wouldn't be bad, because seeing 3-on-3 would be actually pretty good. Bristlepack Sentry. Very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, plotting up. Plotting up a slick shot show off. They're going for some super explosion. All right. 3rd right on time. We are also going for some explosion here. That's a pretty good turn 3, man. That's a pretty good turn 3, because if the opponent isn't careful, they could die next turn. So there, I mean, I guess technically, okay, Codebreaker, and then they do have free Slick Shot. Demonic Ruckus buffs both of them. And then 1 mountain could be a Monstrous Rage. Luckily, not giving double strike here. The opponent's in danger. Play with fire. The opponent's in danger if they swing. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's do this. Bristlepack Sentry. Give it haste. Swing for 10. GG opponent. That is so cool, dude. That is exactly what the deck is trying to do. The Bristlepack Sentry just being a super valuable 2-drop here. We also had another 2 with the Play with Fire. Or 1 with the Kumano as well. That was a pretty good draw as well. Cool stuff, dude. Can't ask for more at that point. Let's keep the ball rolling. Very fast game. I guess luckily we went first there, huh? In other words, that could have been a very different game as well. Wait, we did go first there, right? Yeah, I'm assuming. I'm assuming we went first. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes there's so many games packed into a day. It's just like, wait a minute. Was that the same mono red deck where we went second or first? Opponent goes first here. This is not a bad hand. We keep this. These are much faster hands than the first one too. Oh, look at all these werewolves, guys. We're gonna miss these. Again, especially Reckless Stormseeker, dude. I'm gonna miss the heck out of that card. This card feels like home. Invasion of Gobakon. You get out of my hand, opponent. You monster. Hey, Bristlepack Sentry. Hi, buddy. That's a good draw. I'm playing that. Look at that 4/4. Look at that generic 4/4. No other abilities, right? Alright, Kumano flips and... I guess Stormseeker for the turn since we got our third. I'm gonna just buff the etching though with it and get that swing. Let's see what they do with this. They might just take 7. They do. Missing the Overlord definitely sucks a little bit, but getting to 5 isn't going to be too bad. Well, it might be. Okay, so it does specifically read combat damage to a player, not like a battle. So they're not going to get extra card draw here. I don't want to lose my Stormseeker because I'll tell you what, double Stormseekers is actually pretty good. Destroy Evil, taking out our poor Sentry. 4th mana. And we double down on Naturalist. We'll just be a little bit wider and still have a hasty creature next turn and give haste to the Naturalist too. Or we swing with the Naturalist, we ramp into our Stormseeker, but I think just keeping Stormseeker as a surprise, another hasty creature next turn is a little bit better here. But I guess it depends what this Plains is too, so let's see what ends up happening here. We'll grab a red source on the Naturalist. Yeah, they're going to have a blocker next turn, so I think just going wide is a little bit better. We're taking 1 less damage here, thanks to the Naturalist. So we're pretty wide. We have Stormseeker in hand. The opponent needs to have a pretty good turn here, as they're only at 5. They go for the Cycle on the Ozolith, probably looking for some removal or something. Cycle on the Ozolith. Uh-oh. GG opponent. GG, buddy. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what wolves are supposed to do. This is good. This is a good time. Heck yeah, I'm having fun. And don't ask me again. No, I mean, we had to. We had to play some wolves before they're gone, you know? And the Bristlepack is an awesome addition to the deck list so far. Let's see if any of the games where we see the Sentry today, if it just ends up being a defender. Because I doubt it. Like, the whole deck is based around actually getting those creatures above the power required for them to be able to swing. So I bet it is very rare where this just sits as a defender. Oh, all these forests is pretty scary. This is a lot of damage, but this is a keepable hand, I think, still. Instead of Ruby, do we just go Bristlepack, or... I'm thinking we discard one of the forests. We've been seeing a lot of mana today. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So Ruby and keep the Royal Roll open. Royal Treatment, I mean. Seems pretty good against a swamp, right? No attacks. No attacks. A little bit of patience here. Just a little bit. They might pass it back. They may realize what we just did. Sheoldred's Edict gets around it anyways, huh? So Ruby is out of the equation. Luckily, we do have a turn 3 Reckless Stormseeker, or we could go Bristlepack and keep the Royal Treatment for that. But with the Stormseeker off the top, we just go for Stormseeker. I really, really doubt it survives the turn, but the second one made me say, okay, let's swing for 3. Liliana. We can take care of that with our hasty Stormseeker.
And for once, it's not my fault.
Mana off the top wouldn't be bad. Not bad, dude. Ask and you shall receive, I'll tell you what. With all the sacrifice, though, I'm not sure this Royal Treatment's going to do too much. You gotta swing at that Liliana while you have the swing, period. Like, there's no question about it. Sheoldred. Ew, get out of here, Shieldred. Why? Why are you here? Oh my goodness. Yeah, we just I don't know what we do. I don't know what we do about Shieldred, honestly. Real treatment. Could be a good combat trick. Take out the Shieldred that way. But I think they actually just take... I think they just take the 4. Yeah, they've played against Gruul lists before. They know. They know. Shieldred's too valuable to risk like a Monstrous Rage or something. Because as long as you can keep some amount of control happening while Shieldred's on the board, it just runs away with the game. GG, opponent. I think we're dead. I think we're super dead. Oh, buddy. Obliterator's rough business. I guess we don't swing, right? I guess. I guess we could swing a Sentry, sacrifice 5 permanents. I guess. But to just like all of our land, nah, we'll play it out. It does go to nighttime, which is actually pretty good. The trample comes in handy. I do think that the opponent's just going to swing for the turn, though, and not worry too much, because they are at 17 right now. Shieldred's Edict. Man, these sacrifices, huh? That's brutal. Any different spot removal and these royal treatments would have been amazing, but instead they saw 3 different sacrifice removal. Maybe that's all the opponent's opting for, you know? Gladly take the 5 here, and it looks like they're going to let us keep it at nighttime. I'll just drop the royal treatment. I'm pretty sure we're dead next turn, so we're just going to play it for fun. See that draw. Wow, Dire Overlord. Not half bad, dude. Buff it on up. Get that swing. They do have the block into the Storm Charge Slasher, but they opt for the trade into the Tovolar, actually. Oh, they changed their mind. Well, so the roles replace themselves, so we actually won't be able to buff the Storm Charged Slasher any higher than the 4/5. We do have this, but we have X is 0 for it. If we had X is 1, that'd be a little different. We do get a card draw here, though. So we'll see what we see. It's a mountain. Ow, my face. Shieldred punish. Crap. Alright, let's go ahead and let the opponent swing on in here. And this is target creature you control, so we can't have fun and give it to the opponent. Drop the GG. They just swing with Obliterator, just in case. They want to play it out completely. They don't know what's in hand, which makes sense, instead of like going for the full swing there. 50% total win rate. I think we can keep the ball rolling, guys. Although I do think by the end of the video, we're still going to be around a 50%, right? I don't think we're going to be doing much better. But still having a good time with some wolves and werewolves. Yeah, so far. So up against mono black, we're going to have a lot of issues, like with early Shieldreds. So we do want to consider something for that. All right, Trailblazer. Yep. Let's keep it. Ridgeline for turn 1. Tracker for turn 2, probably, right? Karplusan Forest. All right. Ruby, Daring Tracker. We have Royal Treatment. I'm going to keep it open, because I don't think it's going to be a Shieldred's Edict this time round. It might actually be able to save itself, right, off the tap. Heck yeah, it does. Bro, the number of, like, turn 2, I remove your thing, that we just, like, we don't even have to think about playing against it. We just play against it, you know what I mean? Trailblazer, play with fire, swing with Ruby is pretty darn good. Let's do this. Although we're starting to fizzle out here a little bit. We don't need mana. Send that. All right. Opponent's down to 14. This is their turn 3. Trailblazer probably does not survive here. Angel. Oh, dear. They're going to pay the ward 1 for the Ruby. They let us keep the Trailblazer. It's too bad we don't have too much to actually utilize that middle ability on Trailblazer, but... Oh, wow. Reckless Stormseeker is such a good draw. That's such a good draw, guys. Swing for 7. The opponent probably just has more removal ready. It's got to be the Stormseeker. So we'll probably get to keep the Trailblazer. Yeah, honestly. Lightning Helix. They go back up to 10 here, though. 3 pieces of burn. I mean, we kind of know what we're up against now. Sentry, keep the royal treatment, I guess, because 4th piece of burn is likely. And so we just keep the royal treatment. And the play with fire, I guess. So if we don't use the treatment, then we still have play with fire for the turn too. The opponent's only gained 3 life so far. This is very much a deck that knows how to gain more. So royal treatment fizzling out like a lightning helix would be really, really good for us, especially since Trailblazer's on the board too. So Sentry gets to swing. Giada. Play with fire on Giada is not bad. They're going to keep this 2 open, aren't they? So if we, on the stack of the play with fire, they drop a lightning helix, we're in trouble. So maybe we just wait, we untap. They have 2 open. Since we're untapping, we have enough mana. So now we go play with fire. So we still have the mana available here. Swing for 7 for the protection on the royal treatment. GG opponent. So we opted for patience there based on just them not having much mana open. That's pretty sick stuff, guys. 60%. We're 32 minutes in. We totally have time for one more. Win or lose, I am 110% satisfied, dude. How much fun was this today? This was a good time. We got to look into this Sentry for other builds, right? I mean, sure, like it fits the whole wolf theme, but it's such a neat little card. Look at this. It's common. 2 mana, 3/3 defender. That's really, really easy to not have defender. Like, that's just kind of awesome to me. All right, we should mulligan, right? Because we don't have a green source and we can't do too much in this hand without it. All right, a little bit better, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is good. This is good. Because of the scries on the play with fire, which could potentially be free on turn 3 with the swing with the naturalist, which will be a 3/3 because our turn 1's Kumano. Oh, we have to drop a card. Well, it's going to be the forest then. Karplusan Forest. It'd be nice if the first mulligan was free, but that would probably be a little bit too much for like combo builds and stuff, right? I can imagine that's why the first mulligans aren't free. Wow, Bristlepack Sentry off the top. They dropped the GGs. Should I do it? Should I drop it in return? No, we're fine, we're fine. Inspector, this definitely looks like a gleeful demolition turn. I mean, they dropped the GGs for a reason. That means they have a great curve in hand. Kumano flips next turn. Knight Errant of Eos, huh? What's this tiny little card? What is this? Yeah, they dropped a GG for a good reason. Emodane's Recruiter off the top. Oh my goodness. That is a good hit off the Knight Errant of Eos. Stormseeker's good. We do have the swing with the Sentry. They take the 4, and then we just, like, perish next turn. Naturalist can come down, get ready for the swing next turn. We have a hasty Stormseeker and a free play with fire. We see mana off the top. Or we just full swing, have a play with fire for the turn. Probably not the best. We should keep at least 1 blocker. They easily take the 4 here without any worries. They contemplated the trade. We drop Naturalist. We see what happens. I think third mana drops Imodane's Recruiter full swing, and we have a chance of taking it all, but we do not have a chance. Oh, War Leader's Call is even worse, I would say, because now next turn it's like the GG for sure, right? Like they are going to keep some blockers. They keep 2 blockers back. It's just, let's take it because we're dead like next turn no matter what when the Imodane's Recruiter drops. Stormseeker off the top is not a mana, but we do have ramp with the Naturalist if we choose to swing with it. Other than that, keeping the Sentry back as a blocker is going to be fine. They trade into the Naturalist regardless, and a 2-3 on the board is not enough here. So maybe if we start with... No, that's not that great either. I think we're dead no matter what. Let's have a fun swing. Let's do it. Pop a goblin. Pop another goblin. Bring the opponent down to 7 and then drop them the GG in return. Good game, opponent. Sometimes Boros is just going to curve out really, really nicely. Another War Leader's Call, showing us that they didn't even need the Knight Errant of Eos to hit that Imodane's Recruiter. Totally fine, though. I mean, our deck still kind of did the thing. And it did the thing pretty well, actually. Bringing the deck win rate back down to 50%. That's about right. I don't think it's going to do much better than that, honestly. Although there are a lot of really neat concepts in here. At 36 minutes in, guys, should I? Should I? One more? Oh, crap. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Having a good time. Push it a little overtime today. I honestly, I probably don't have too much to say in the final thoughts about the build, but you never know. Once I get there, I might get on the rambling ball, I suppose. Hi, opponent. How are you? What are you bringing to the table? Blue? Wee, that's a good hand. That's good. That's good stuff, dude. There's almost nothing more impressive to me right now than this turn 2 Sentry. Like every time we do it, it's just like, dang, dude. That's a turn 2. Like, seriously, look at this. Holy cow. Kumano flips. What do we start with here? It was the swing, right? Just start with the swing. Do what they do. They banish my Sentry. You monster, opponent. Where do I want this? Do I just like want it on top? The 2. No, I'm sending it because mana would be a little bit better right now. Because if we successfully ramp with Naturalist, we'll have a turn 4 Cactusfolk at least. Or turn 3. Wait, did we? How many turns has it been? We didn't miss a mana yet, but we might on turn 3 here. Brotherhood's End. Dude, that's so bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is it control? We do miss the mana, not like it mattered too much here, but having the 3rd mana could mean some spot removal protection with the Royal Treatment, so... Wait, no, that's what we drew. Never mind. Never mind. Seeing mana would have meant play with fire. Ulvenwald. Lord of the Ulvenwald. So no mana. We're going to keep the Royal Treatment. They have 4 open. Probably like Memory Deluge or something. Now we got to be prepared to play around other board wipes too. There's going to be Kumano for the turn and keep play with fire and Royal Whirl open. I guess red source. And that's our Kumano play. And then we have 2 mana available. They go for the negate, actually. Guys, if we go for the Sentry for the turn, then it's going to switch back to daytime. If we... Also, Sentry could mean second Brotherhood's End would just take us out of this game, period. We keep what's in hand. Royal Treatment with the play with fire is excellent. Oh, they switch it back to day anyways. Well, I'm still going to keep what we got here. Yeah, they played 2. Oh, wait. I don't know how to play Magic the Gathering, guys. It's not like it was their turn. They could still easily switch it back, though, to daytime here on their turn. Nice. Picklock Prankster. At that point, we will still go for the Play with Fire on their face. So switching back today, Crucible we're keeping. Play Crucible, swing. Cactusfolk Sureshot. Still got to be afraid of a second board wipe, but at the same time, dude. Okay, we'll grab a red source. At the same time, we just got to go, you know? At the very least, Brotherhood's End doesn't hit the Cactusfolk Sureshot. Sword of Once and Future. They go for the equip. The 3/5, we do have the block here. So they won't get that through. But it had Vigilance, so they went for the swing anyways. Kumano and Sentry. We don't have a great swing because Naturalist gets blocked so effectively here. However, if we do full swing and they take the Naturalist, we do get 4 through. We get a little bit of ramp that we just don't need for the turn. With the 4 going through, though, that is pretty good. If we just swing with Sure Shot, that's an easy block for them. A little bit too easy. That's tough, but I am going to opt for just getting this through. And I'll tell you what, any amount of combat tricks would have been excellent here. They do go for the block. They don't even consider it the Sure Shot. We do have the Kumano for the turn. And then Sentry for next turn. Because we wait for next turn. Because if it's a board wipe, they might not want to drop it on just the Sure Shot. But secondly, we give haste to the Sentry because of the Kumano's second Saga ability there. Sentry will come in as a 4/4. Sure Shot gives it haste. If Sure Shot survives, it does have Ward 2 as well. So we're kind of just going for a sneaky victory here. If we play Sentry this turn, it's just a 3/3, and then it does get picked up by some things. With 5 mana too, full powered board wipes, ill-timed explosion, burn down the house, right? That would all pick it up. But with just the Sure Shot, it's tempting for them not to do that. Royal Treatment is so good off the top. We drop the Sentry. Come on, guys. No, 3 steps ahead was hidden in their hand, guys. No, that's so good for the opponent as they still have the Fading Hope open. Luckily, though, we do have the Ward 2 on here, and we're just going to have to go for it, man, because at any point they've controlled us too far. So taking out the Prankster while we can is better than nothing, right? Kumano flips next turn. This is anyone's game easily. They can't Fading Hope this, but they can Fading Hope the Prankster. They decide not to. Yeah, the Ward really coming in handy on the Sure Shot here. But now they can bounce it if they want. All right, they go for the Fading Hope. They're going to have to pay Ward 3, which means we have a good chance of winning here, guys. Anything off the top, man. Monstrous Rage, freaking Reckless Stormseeker, right? Oh my goodness, man. Let's go. Is it going to be another Fading Hope, though? It might be. Ah, it's a Play with Fire. They're in this. They're in this. Come on, guys. Come on. Dude, the opponent's list has been terrifying. Going up against Is It Control? Oh, Brotherhood's End number 2. Picklock Prankster gonna be a blocker. It's Aloe Alchemist. Wah, 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 wah. Actually, we just established this, right? Well, sort of once in future. Guys, how are we gonna get there? How are we going to get there? Another Kumano, Play with Fire. We saw 3 Kumanos already, though. There's 1 Kumano remaining, 3 Play with Fires remaining. So all that can help us poke that last bit through. Guys, we play this just to play it. Just to have a creature out there. It's another thing too, if like we see Monstrous Rage off the top, neither of our cards in hand actually have aced. So we just need to have a creature on the board, even if it just takes a target away. Sword of Ones in the Future is a really sick addition for the opponent's deck list, since they do have these creatures on the adventure cards here. Mana value 2 or less. Mana value 2 or less, that's just like any of the removal out of their grave. So if I would have kept the... We knew that they had that. And it was for free too. Restless Ridgeline. We're not out of this, guys. They're at 1, and Izzet does not have a lot of ways to actually gain life. Going to nighttime here. So much we could see. So much we could see. Come on, guys. Come on. We're going down to 7. Man, Play with Fire our face, probably. This Sword of Once and Future is such a sick addition for the opponent. Oh, bringing us down to 4. I didn't even know they had Lightning Strike in the grave. Guys, we're dead next turn if we don't see it off the top here. We have to see it. We have to see it. Memory Deluge on their turn. Is there anything that we could see outside of a Play with Fire or Kumano? Kessig Naturalist. That's not gonna do it, guys. We are officially dead. Oh no! Wait, Reach on the Sureshot. Oh, Fading Hope though. They plotted up Fading Hope on the Fibblethip, so it's sorcery speed only. They actually just have another Lightning Strike in the opponent's hand too. This is a really neat Izzet build, dude. Props to the opponent. Very cool Izzet deck list. I mean, for real. Really, really neat. And that could have been anyone's game easily. Another one here. Getting the opponent down to 1 feels pretty bad, but we have a lot of ways to clean up that last point of damage. So, yeah, anyone's game, huh? All right, guys. Hey, end of video pack. Oh, 2 packs. Ooh, hey, guys, while I have you here at the end of the video, make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. That Patreon really does go the extra mile in supporting the community and the channel. So thank you guys so much to all my patrons. Niv Mizzet Guild Pack, nice. And Outlaws of Thunder Junction. We got, oh, hello there. Spoilers, a future deck list. But now I can run 3 of those. Instead, I have a Ratadrobic Returns deck list ready to try out. So, where am I, guys? Wolves before they're gone. And that was my 3rd guild pack as well. Interesting. Why'd the other one not show up? Oh, because, yeah, there he is. All right. That's my 3rd mare. Anyways, here's the deck list again, guys. Pretty cool stuff, man. I like it. I think that the Aloe Alchemist could just be a couple Lightning Strikes as well, or something. Or we could drop, or like, based on that last match, just more burn is probably going to be a little better, but at the same time, we're going to want creatures too, and we want ways to buff creatures as well. I could see dropping 2 of these, going up a Monstrous Rage, because that saves the same theme. And then going up a Lightning Strike as a 1 of as well, just to give us more burn to push that last little bit through, and more removal at that point too, right? We are going to often struggle against decks that like drop an early Shieldred and stuff. But if we are going fast enough, then having something like this, also just more 1-drops, as you guys could see, like the extra mana off the Naturalist and the Ruby, and for that matter, the Outcaster Trailblazer, is really good when you have all these 1-drops packed in. Makes the curve a little bit awkward, but when you are curving out like this in a deck that, like I said, you're getting those free 1-drops on a lot of turns too, then this curve makes a little bit of sense. As we're peaking at 2 and trying to get a lot of these 1-drops for free. Other than that, I am thoroughly impressed by turn 1 Kumano, turn 2 Bristlepack Sentry. That is so good, dude. It's so good. 2 mana 4/4. Beautiful stuff. The opponents didn't have too many issues actually cleaning up Sentry, but still, Really neat card. I probably want to find a deck somewhere that fits this. And another aggro deck list that has a focus on power 4 or greater with Ruby as well. After rotation, of course, we won't be able to pack it into the Wolves, but there's probably something cool we could do with that. Also, guys, dropping 2 green cards and going up a couple red cards means that our curve is a little bit different here with the mana base. So we are leaning red now, so we can drop the forest and go up a mountain. And there we go. Easy peasy. It is so close to center, though, and there's going to be so many moments where you actually just want to keep open a green source, too. I'm actually going to drop a cavern and go up a forest. Keep that even split like that. Or we could go up more dual lands. How greedy was the mana today? The Karplusan Forest felt a little bit rough sometimes, but not too bad. Guys, 22 land. That sure felt like a lot, but in that last game, we needed more mana off the top too. 22 is probably right where we want it. And in some of those matches, we flooded just a little bit for having 22. I could see 21 as well. If we go 21, I could drop Forest, Mountain, go up a Restless Ridgeline. I think the Restless Land's going to be good, but that's only good once you actually get to 5 mana. But this deck list is a deck list that definitely gets devastated by board wipes, which is usually the deck list where you want more Restless anyways. So if we do something like this, go down to 21, just based on the decks that we went up against, based on the matches that we played today, 22 did feel like a lot, and when we are ramping with Naturalist and Ruby and the Trailblazer for that matter too, potentially, especially if you plot it up, something like this could be fine. If we potentially grab like a Bushwhack, maybe Bushwhack can grab land out of the deck if we need to, or just act as some removal, which could be pretty good, especially with these big old chunky sentries on the board. Outside of that, it could just be other removal too. It could be Tail Swipe. It could be something that helps us clean up Planeswalkers too. We are seeing a lot of Liliana, unfortunately. Liliana has always been very, very brutal, so that would be a hard-hitting question. That can help us clean up some Planeswalkers, but like Play with Fire does that too, and so does Kumano at that point. When we are complaining about Liliana, Liliana is pretty easy to pick up with a Kumano and stuff, so... maybe it should just be the Lightning Strike. Maybe it should just be Lightning Strike number 2. Right, even more ways to burn that bit through. We are leaning even further red, but I'm still going to keep the even split because of how often we're going to want to keep the green source open for the Royal Treatment, as well as plotting our green cards up like Aloe Alchemist as well. Well, that's not extra green that you need, though, but that is noteworthy, I suppose. So we're still going to keep the even split, even though the deck list is not evenly split. And it's because there's going to be so many moments where we want to keep an open green. So you want to have, 2 green sources on the board at any given time. So that way you can play like a Naturalist and keep the treatment open on the same turn. Ruby's also mana fixing too. Naturalist is actually all the creatures that give us an extra mana are mana fixing as well. So how do we feel about that? Getting the opponents down so low and then not finding the burn we needed, opted for 2 more Lightning Strikes. I think it's going to be totally fine in here. Actually, I think it's going to be more than fine. I think it's going to be ideal in here. I could also see potentially, probably not. I could see instead of the Lightning Strikes just going up the Monstrous Rages too, right? I could see that. That's going to be up to you guys though, for sure. Anyways, rotation right around the corner. All these non-rotation proof deck lists put on the do not craft list. We're losing them. We're losing Stormseeker. We're losing Tovolar. Naturalist in here. How about the mana? We're losing Who Endures, Crucible. We are losing Kumano faces Kakkazan, right? So like the majority of the deck we're losing, but we definitely wanted to return to some of these, especially Stormseeker, man. I'm going to miss this card. I know I said that a lot during the video, but still. Guys, if you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. Let me know what you thought of the deck list down in the comments. I hope you had just as much fun today as I had. What would you add or take out of the deck list as well? Let me know. Alrighty. Hey, I will see you in the next video.